Now it's been quite a while since I've done a game room and office tour. I think the last time I did one was in 2016, so I thought it was about time I did an updated version of my setup and discuss my collection. I constantly receive messages about what I use when it comes to creating the videos I do here on YouTube, so I'll be going over every aspect of the process and equipment I use as well. Let's go over what I use when it comes to producing videos. I essentially use two different workstations, with the first being what you see right here. This is what I like to call the edit bay, which consists of a MacBook Air that's connected to an ultra-wide curved 4K 34-inch LG monitor. I recently upgraded and found the extra space a lot more intuitive when it comes to editing. I use Final Cut Pro, which offers so many ways to produce content, and when coupled with the monitor that I use, being able to see the entire timeline at a glance is a real plus, and manages to cut off a lot of time whilst editing. I'm not gonna lie, the built-in speakers are pretty bad, so I decided to go with a pair of Logitech speakers that work out perfect when it comes to mixing sound levels. The subwoofer is a nice touch as well, and has made the process of getting the sound just right a lot easier. Now, I'm a bit of a sucker when it comes to Apple products, so I use both the Space Gray Magic Keyboard and mouse that are afforded a ton of extra functionality thanks to a little app known as Better Touch Tool. If you're a Mac user, the app is essential, as it lets you create custom gestures as well as functions that completely streamline everyday tasks. It really comes in handy whilst editing and is something I highly recommend checking out. Now, I used to spend a lot of time sitting at the desk for both editing and writing, but thanks to the folks over at FlexiSpot, I've recently split my workflow up into two different stations. This video is sponsored by the company due to the new desk that they generously sent me, and it has literally changed my entire workflow for the better. The desk is called the Standing Desk E7, and it offers many incredible features, the best being that you can alter the height of the table at the touch of a button. It possesses an anti-collision system, so when either putting the table up or down, if it senses anything in the way, it will automatically stop. The heights reach from 58 centimeters all the way up to 123, and during operation it is not only buttery smooth, but really quiet as well. It's all made possible by the motorized legs and this handy little display that neatly secures underneath the table. You've got your up and down buttons, which are pretty self-explanatory, as well as 4 memory buttons that allow you to save specific heights, so you can then access them on the fly. It doesn't take that long to get set up, and it really comes in handy, as you'll be sitting down editing or writing, and then thanks to the memory buttons, you don't have to fiddle around with any other setting to get your height just right. I currently have 3 different settings saved on mine, one for sitting, one for standing, and one for recording voiceover. Now, you can order the legs themselves and add a top to the order, or you can simply grab one from any other store, as the legs work with any tabletop, as long as it adheres to the size guidelines. The best thing about it, these tables will be on sale during the Amazon Prime Day, which is running from June the 21st to June the 22nd. So if you're on the lookout for a new desk setup, I cannot recommend this one enough. There's a link in the description if you're interested in picking one up. When it comes to capturing audio, I recently upgraded to a Blue Yeti microphone, and the difference is night and day. I used to use a Blue Snowball, and the investment in the better model was well worth it and has provided much better quality when it comes to both voiceovers and live streams. If you're looking to start out here on YouTube, this is the microphone to get. Now, one of the most important aspects when it comes to capturing video is lighting. You don't necessarily need a top-of-the-line camera to capture competent footage. In fact, all of the footage I use is captured just using my iPhone. But what makes a huge difference is lighting. I currently use an IKEA lamp with a white bulb as well as 2 light panels that have a range of options that make filming all the more easier. Let's move on to my gaming setup. The 2 stations I use for both editing and writing also double as my gaming setup. The first you see here houses my PS4 Pro and PlayStation 3 that are both hooked up to the curved monitor I mentioned earlier. Now, it is a bit annoying that neither of the consoles output in the wide resolution, but it's nothing that detracts from playing on it, to be honest. I've got them hooked up to the Logitech speakers, which makes gaming all the more enjoyable, but 9 times out of 10 I usually use headphones, which I feel offer a superior experience. My headphones are nothing fancy though, but they do put out some nice sound. Of course, no gaming setup would be complete without a gaming chair, and the one I went for does the job perfectly. I picked it up on Amazon, and even though it doesn't belong to a fancy brand, it's comfortable and it looks great to boot. Now, I also use my iMac for gaming, which might surprise some of you. Of course, it's not the most powerful machine out there, but thanks to the use of Boot Camp, it's possible to partition the hard drive and dedicate a section of it to Windows. Now, it's not going to run anything too modern, but it's great when it comes to running games like the original Assassin's Creed series, as well as holding its own when it comes to games like Deus Ex Mankind Divided. But I don't really do that much gaming on the machine. Instead, this is what I use to stream. So head on over to Twitch and drop a follow there to catch me live, where I'm going to be starting to play a wide selection of games very soon. Let's move on to my collection, which I'll be doing a brief overlook of, because in the near future I'll be doing a full-blown in-depth collection video, so make sure you subscribe for that. Most of my collection fits into this IKEA Kallax unit, but a lot of the overflow is currently in storage, such as my CRT and a bunch of other games I simply don't have room to display. But for the full collection video that I'll be doing in the future, I'll be sure to grab them all out. Now, I'm a huge fan of the Dreamcast, so I've got a row of games bang in the center of the unit, so they are the first thing to catch your eye. The grey shelves are also from IKEA and are perfect for displaying the dual cases for both the Dreamcast as well as the PS1, and it even creates a neat little space that perfectly fits PSP, Switch, PS3 and PS4 games. Towards the top you'll find my 6th-gen games from PS2 to Xbox and GameCube, as well as a little section dedicated to the Sega Saturn. As you can see, I also like to collect models from various games and animes such as Evangelion and the Metal Gear Solid series, to name a few. I've installed several LED strips on the back that help illuminate the unit, and it creates a really nice effect for the entire room. It also does a good job of helping each of the consoles I've got set out to really stand out on the shelf. Well, that does it for today's video. If you're not subscribed yet, make sure to hit that button and help me reach my goal of 50,000k before the end of the year. You can follow me on all of the socials to stay up to date on future videos as well, and to take part in giveaways. You can also join our growing community on Discord and meet many like-minded gamers to continue the conversation with. I'd also like to give a special shout out to our Patreon supporters Rhino, Skill Jim, Nano, Steve and Paddy J for their continued support that helps make these videos possible. If you're interested in joining our Discord or even supporting the channel through Patreon, you'll find the links in the description. As always, thanks for taking the time to watch the video. I'll catch you in the next one.